Hello friends, let us now learn some important points about aero-otitis media or aortic barotrauma. So, if you see the etiology, it has whenever there is rapid descent during the air flight, or if the patient is undergoing underwater driving, or if the patient has compression in a pressure chamber. So in all these conditions, atmospheric pressure may be more than that of middle ear pressure. Atmospheric pressure may be more than that of middle ear pressure by a critical level of 90 millimeters of Hg. Atmospheric pressure is more than that of middle ear pressure by a critical level of 90 millimeters of Hg, and thus the eustachian tube is blocked. This will cause the negative pressure in the middle ear, which leads to the retraction of tympanic membrane. And this also causes hyperemia and engorgement of vessels occur. It causes retraction of tympanic membrane, and it also causes hyperemia and engorgement of blood vessels occurs, thus causing transudation and hemorrhage occurs. Now, if you see the clinical features, the main clinical features are it causes severe headache, deafness and tinnitus. And if we see the signs, in the signs we can see presence of air bubbles or hemorrhagic effusion is seen in the middle ear. Air bubbles or hemorrhagic effusion is seen in the middle ear. So if we try to treat treatment can be either medical treatment or we can do surgical treatment. Medical treatment, we can give oral or topical decongestants are given and antihistaminics are given. Then surgery, we can do myringotomy can be done for surgery. Then the next important thing is we have preventive measures. So the preventive measures are: first, avoid air travel in the presence of upper respiratory tract infections. Avoid air travel in the presence of upper respiratory tract infections, and do not sleep during descent. Do not sleep during descent. And we can do chewing gum exercises can be done during the descents, so that whenever they chew, so they will swallow the saliva so that the eustachian tube remains open. Then autoinflation of eustachian tube can also be done by Valsalva. Then autoinflation of eustachian tube is also done by Valsalva. Then the next important is we can use the vasoconstrictor nasal spray, and systemic decongestants are used half an hour before the descent in case of history of similar episode. We will have to use vasoconstrictor nasal spray, and systemic decongestants are used half an hour before descent in case of history of similar episode. Then the next important topic is about the chronic adhesive otitis media. In chronic adhesive otitis media, you will see that there are adhesions which are present between the drum and the middle ear. The adhesions present between the drum and the middle ear. So the best treatment of chronic adhesive otitis media includes hearing aid. Best treatment is hearing aid. Then we have atelectatic ear. So in the atelectatic ear, there is complete collapse of thin drum occurs on the promontory. There is complete collapse of thin drum occurs on the promontory. Here you will see presence of fluctuating deafness, of conductive hearing loss occurs. Thus it is a see, there are two things. One, if fluctuating deafness of conductive hearing loss occurs, then that is secretory otitis media. If fluctuating sensory neural hearing loss occurs, then that is Meniere's disease. If pot belly tympanic membrane is seen, then that is secretory otitis media. So this is about the aero otitis media. Thank you for watching.